And hello again, everybody. David Clary, Mark and Shauna Haste, along with Jordan Osborne, Christian Roses Rodriguez, here at the Wildcat Arena, getting set for Region 2 tournament action. The Oak Ridge High School Wildcats taking on the West High Rebels in the first game for them in the region tournament. The winner advances to play the winner of the Central Maryville ball game, while the loser ends very fine seasons here tonight. Before we get going any farther, I'd like to thank our sponsors for our streaming fee. Each night we stream a ball game. The TSSAA charges $250. And we'd like to thank Ron and Laverne Myers. They paid our rights fee, so we were allowed to stream this ball game. And if you'd like to help us out in future ball games, please contact us here, because we'd love to continue this service going throughout as long as the Wildcats are in the postseason. Oak Ridge and West getting set to play. The Wildcats are warming up to our right. Down to the left, the West High Rebels. Shauna Haste has joined us here. Shauna, you've got more information on tonight's game.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Oak Ridge begins Region 2 tournament play tonight against a team seldom played in recent years in basketball. But Oak Ridge fans better get used to seeing them, because next season they will be in Oak Ridge District. The West High Rebels, a frequent opponent for Oak Ridge in football, will replace Halls, Anderson County, and Clinton in our district next season as the Wildcats move up to the new 4A classification. Ironically, West is dropping out of Oak Ridge region in football and will be replaced by Lenoir City. Oak Ridge and West were in the same district from 2005 to 2009, and Oak Ridge went 7-1 against the Rebels during that stretch. The first game in the series was played back in 1951. Oak Ridge leads that series 19-4. In the postseason, they have played 6 times. Oak Ridge is 3-3 all time against West, with the last time being a 75-65 here win at Wildcat Arena in 2019. That was also round 1 elimination game. West is in the region for the first time since that loss to Oak Ridge and are in search of their second ever Region 2 title. West's only Region 2 championship game in 2012 when they beat Maryville. West lost their sectional game that season to Cherokee. They were also runner-up in the region to Bearden in 2010 and 2011. In 2011, they beat Science Hill in the sectional, but lost in the first round of the state tournament. Their best season ever and only other state tournament appearance. Oak Ridge was runner-up in the regional last season, losing to Maryville at Maryville, but Oak Ridge did not go on to beat Science Hill in the sectional. Maryville also won their sectional game against Dobyns-Bennett. Unfortunately, Oak Ridge or Maryville were able to go to state tournament, which was called off due to COVID. Oak Ridge has the longest streak in the region of going to this tournament. Oak Ridge has qualified 26 years in a row, dating back to 1995. Oak Ridge has also won 20 region championships games since their first one in 1958. Oak Ridge's last region title came in 2017 when they beat Bearden. Coach Aaron Green also won region titles in 2013 and 2016. West has had a very up and down season. They have had several impressive wins this season, including a win over Fulton and Maryville, but they've also had some bad losses. Their losses come to Lenoir City, Heritage, Sequoia, and William Blount. They dropped their last 2 games at the District 4 tournament to Bearden and Farragut to finish 4th. They did, though, knock off William Blount in their opening game. Oak Ridge tournament run includes an opening round win over Carnes and the championship win over Clinton. Clinton is in action tonight as well in the region as they entertain the Farragut Admirals. Carnes is traveling to Bearden and Central is at Maryville. The winners advance to the semifinals, and like the district, the games will be played at the higher seeds' home court. If number 1 Bearden reaches the finals and number 1 Oak Ridge does too, the championship game will be played here at Wildcat Arena. Tonight's game is being streamed on YouTube thanks to a generous donation from a Super Oak Ridge fans, Ron and Laverne Myers. We once again thank you for the support of the Oak Ridge athletes in this community service. The TSSAA charges $250 per game to stream live events for their tournaments. Neil and Stephanie Thompson donated so that we could stream yesterday's Lady Wildcats game, and Ronnie and Becky Hayes donated money for us to broadcast the district tournament games. Send us a message on the comment section of the YouTube stream or contact David Clary at dccatvoice@aol.com or call him at 310-7207. We'd also like to thank our season sponsors for all they have done this season: the Fox Insurance Group, Ortho Tennessee, Coon Bank, Mortgage Investor Group, and Oak Ridge Utility District. It's time for our final break. Oak Ridge and West are just moments away. When we return, Mark will have the starting lineup and Dave will rejoin for the call of Oak Ridge and West. We'll be back in a moment.
David Clary back here at the Wildcat Arena getting set for this Region 2 tournament ball game. The Oak Ridge High School Wildcats taking on the West High Rebels. The Rebels come in with a record of 11-9. The Wildcats come in at 24-5 on the season. We are streaming this game on YouTube, and we'd like to once again thank Ron and Laverne Myers for helping us out, paying our rights fee. We also would like to thank our future sponsor, Jerry and Lisa Williams of Trinity Home Caring Consulting, LLC, and Bob and Ann McNeese. They're going to be the sponsors for the ball game on Monday when the Lady Wildcats take on the Maryville Lady Rebels in the semifinals of the Region 2 tournament. Lady Wildcats with a victory there will play in the championship ball game on Wednesday, and they'll get an opportunity to play in a sub-state on Saturday. Lady Wildcats knocking off Farragut last night by 9 here at the Wildcat Arena. The tougher team will will come into town on Monday night. Farragut was a good team, but Maryville's a perhaps great team. They were the region champions a year ago and qualified for the state tournament. They'll be our opponent coming up on Monday night, 7 o'clock here at the Wildcat Arena. It's Oak Ridge and West here on our Prep Radio channel. We're also on Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15, and we're also on prepradio.com. We appreciate all of you watching. They limited 650 fans into the arena here tonight. That is smaller than what we had for the district championship ball game against the Clinton Dragons. What I've been told about this West team, they are scrappy. They've got a 6'7" guy on the inside. Jonathan Milloway is our 6'7" guy, but that 6'7" guy does not start for them. I'm sure we'll see him off the bench. We're just moments away from the national anthem here from the Wildcat Arena, Oak Ridge and the West High Rebels. Thanks for tuning us in. We'll be back with the starting lineups in a moment after the national anthem. Teresa Seals is going to sing the national anthem in a moment. The Rebels and the Wildcats here on prepradio.com and YouTube. We'll be back in a moment. That's our national anthem here from the Wildcat Arena, getting set for Oak Ridge High School basketball. My name is David Clary, along with Mark and Shauna Haste, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, and Jordan Osborne. Mark Haste joins us now. Mark, you've got the starting lineups for tonight's game.
Thank you very much, David. Starting for the visiting West High School Rebels, they will come out with number 4, Gabriel Pastrana. He's a 5'11 junior. They will also start number 14, a 6'3 senior, Baker Dance. Number 20, a 6'3 sophomore, Aram Kruvas. Number 21, a 6'3 junior, William Biven. And number 33, a 6'2 senior, Houston Dyer. Starting for the Wildcats, they'll come out with a regular starting 5. That'll be number 1, Stafford Shanklin. He's a 6'3 senior. Number 2, a 6'2 senior, Jonathan Stewart. Number 3, a 5'11 junior, Kel Slater. Number 21, Jonathan Milloway. He's a 6'7 senior. And number 23, a 6'7 senior, Jeremy Miller.
Pretty good sized student section here at the Wildcat Arena. Not as big, obviously, as the Clinton, but not bad as the starting lineups down on the floor are being introduced. Mark, I don't know if you know the answer to this trivia question. I'm going to give you the answer to. Who do you think are the most famous alumni of West High School?
I really do not know. I don't have an educated guess because I'm not very well educated.
Well, I'm going to tell you. Did you know the Everly brothers went to West High School?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
I bet Mike knew that.
Yeah, probably so. And we're about to get underway. The Wildcats in an elimination ball game, their first elimination game of the tournament. Wildcats did not play well in their first ball game at Carnes, played extremely well against Clinton. Got to be fired up for this one. West's record is not great, but like I've been told, they, like we said just a moment ago, they beat Maryville, they beat Fulton. During the course of the year, the Wildcats have got to play their kind of a ball game as the two teams are out there. I was noticing they had a 6'7 kid, Darius Martin, with some really nice shoes. He's not getting the start tonight, so they're going with a smaller lineup, a little bit more comparable to Oak Ridge. The officials are about to step in. We're about to have basketball, the Region 2 basketball tournament brought to you by Ron and Laverne Myers, and we are underway. The ball is controlled by West, and they've got the basketball. Wearing their all red jerseys with white and blue. The Wildcats in their home whites, cardinal and black. With the basketball will come the Rebels working their motion offense. They work the ball top of the circle. Here it goes out to number 4 for them. That'll be Pastrana. He lost the ball. Ball's knocked out of bounds. Last touched. Well, a little bit of confusion there, but it will be Oak Ridge's basketball. Down the floor with the basketball will come Oak Ridge, and it comes to the point guard, Kel Slater, coming off of an MVP performance at the district tournament. He gives it off to the left side. Mark, one of the things the Wildcats have to do is the Wildcats drive to the baseline, will not shoot from there. One of the things the Wildcats have got to get going here in the postseason is this guy right here, Jeremy Miller. He almost steps out of bounds. He takes a shot. No good. He's fouled. Jeremy really didn't have his best tournament, the only 2 ball games, the Carnes and the Clinton ball game, but we've got to get Jeremy on track.
Yeah, we do. A nice aggressive play there by him as he went to the bucket. He was fouled by West's Houston Dyer. That'll be for West their first free throw.
7:25 to
referee's asking for the ball back.
As they get positioning down on the floor to the free throw line will go Jeremy Miller. Wildcats senior comes in with 1,055 points. He's a 68.4% free throw shooter. He misfires on the shot. Down the floor with the basketball will come the West High Rebels. 0-0 our score, just underway here from the Wildcat Arena. Thought he was in the act of shooting. I guess they didn't say that. Here's going to be a deflection and a near steal by Kel Slater. The ball knocked out by the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has Jonathan Stewart, Kel Slater, Stafford Shanklin, Jeremy Miller, and Jonathan Milloway in the ball game. The Wildcats and Rebels just underway. About 50 seconds into the ball game, West with the basketball. They work the ball along the baseline, going inside, break down on the defense, and they score. Somebody got screened, and the Rebels lead it by a score of 7-0. Here they come down the floor. The Wildcats with it. Across the way, Jonathan Stewart, got to concentrate here. Wildcats have got to get focused in this one as Jonathan has it top of the circle. Great pass inside Jonathan Milloway. Goes up for the shot. No good. Kind of head faked and drew the contact. Let's see if they're going to rule him in the act of shooting. They are. And Jonathan Milloway will go to the free throw line. He, for the Wildcats, is one of the leading scorers on the team on the season at the free throw line. He's a 59.2% free throw shooter. Shot is no good. Wildcats 0 of 2. Like I said, they didn't play well in their first ball game. They've got to concentrate and get ready for this one. Coming into this ball game, Jonathan Milloway has scored 358 points. Second toss is good. And the Wildcats trail it by a score of 2-1. And here come the Rebels down the floor. 6:42 to play. First quarter action here. West High with the basketball top of the circle. They work the ball to the free throw line for a spinning shot, which is up no good. They get the rebound, back up with it again. Good. Wildcats are down 4-1. Got to get a little bit more hustle on the rebounding side as Jeremy Miller drives the baseline for the layup. Good. That's a great start right there for Jeremy. Goes the baseline, and it's a 1-point game. West on top by a score of 4-3. Down the floor with the basketball, once again, will come the Rebels. Bounce pass goes right side. They had a backdoor play, did not get it. Pastrana with it. Got it out high by Oak Ridge's Kel Slater. Holds the ball, slings the ball to the left side to number 21. That's William Biven. Biven drives in for the shot, blocked. Taken away by Jonathan Stewart. Here come the Wildcats to Kel. Kel Slater can't control the pass. Another turnover. Sloppy play for the Wildcats here. Oak Ridge was sloppy in the Carnes game. That's one thing that I know Coach Green is concerned about to start ball games. Their focus can't have that many turnovers. They had an opportunity right there with numbers as the Rebels work the ball down the floor. They work the ball to the baseline. Good defense by Oak Ridge. They set it out for a long three. It's on its way off the rim. No good. Milloway on the rebound. Jonathan gives it out to Jonathan Stewart. The senior brings the ball down the floor. He thought about shooting a three. Milloway will. It's on its way. No good. Way off the mark there. Rebounded by the Rebels. They lead Oak Ridge 4-3, 5:32 to play in the paint. There's a walk. Travel's going to be called against the Rebels. Wildcats have got to, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, not being critical, I think they just need to work their offense a little bit. I know they don't want to get stagnant just throwing it into Milloway all the time, but I think they've got to take a little bit more time on their offense.
Yeah, I agree with you, David. I mean, be a little bit of what I would call deliberate in their offense and not just take anything. Nice way to get it into Milloway that time. Shot up and good. He now has 3 points as the Wildcats lead, 5-4.
It looks like he was actually held as they knew they were going to lob it over. Oak Ridge definitely has the height advantage when Jonathan's in the ball game, for sure. About the rest of their starters are about the same size, around 6'3". West ball, they trail Oak Ridge 5-4. The Wildcats with their first lead. Free throw line jumper is up, no good. Rebound to Milloway, off his fingertips, saved by the Rebels. Cuevas drives in, has the ball stripped away, and then they're going to call what? What's
offensive foul. They're going to call the offensive foul. He kind of pushed off with his elbow.
So with 4:49 to play in the first quarter, Oak Ridge has it, leading 5-4. Wildcats facing a little pressure in the rear court with William Biven. Also in the back court there is Pastrana. Oak Ridge basketball, 4:49 to play. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Kel Slater is the junior point guard. He walks the ball across the midcourt line right in the center of the court. Gives it off to Oak Ridge's, here's another lob inside of Milloway. Underneath the go a little bit too aggressive. Goes in for the shot. No good. He's fouled. They're actually tied up, actually. It should be Oak Ridge's basketball. Looks like the Wildcats are going to try to lob it down to him all night, and I think they can because that's back-to-back really good plays. Jonathan was a little bit under the goal that time, unable to get it. The Wildcats work it into Jeremy Miller. Jeremy attacks the paint, goes in, turning, and what's the call? Another personal foul. This one's going to go against the Maryville Rebels, the West High Rebels, and it'll be Oak Ridge with the basketball underneath the goal. 5-4 our score, 4:33 to play first quarter. Jonathan Stewart works it in. Bounce pass, intending it for Jeremy Miller, who came cutting to the goal. Ball kicked out of bounds by the West High Rebels. I've said Maryville twice. Here's the ball inside of Milloway. Milloway with a shot. Good. Wildcats score, and Wildcats getting the ball inside with ease to Jonathan as they bring the ball down the floor. 7-4 the score. With the basketball will come the Rebels. They work the ball top of the circle. In the ball game is Taylor Preston, 5'10 senior player. Out to the top of the key. They get a three off. It's on its way. It's too strong. No good. Milloway on the long rebound. Pulls it down to Kel Slater. Kel had Stafford early. Couldn't get to him. He's going to take it to the hole himself. No good. Stafford back up. Good. Stafford Shanklin makes it 9-4 Oak Ridge. 4 minutes to play in the first period. And here comes West down the floor. Moving right to left, wearing their all red jerseys with white trim. Have a little blue on their jersey. Right, Mark? As they work the ball left side to Preston. Preston, top of the circle. 9-4 Wildcats here. 3:45 to play in the first period. Rebel basketball around the right side. It goes to William Biven. Channel 10 fans might know his dad. Russell Biven is his dad as they put up a three. Good. Was it a 2 or a 3? I guess it was a 3, and it's now 9-7. The Wildcats with the ball inside the Milloway again for the shot. Good. They're going to get the ball in all day to Jonathan Milloway if the Wildcats keep feeding him the rock here. Here come the Rebels down the free throw line. They'll drive in with Biven. Biven's shot is up. Good. Biven scores, and it's 11-9. Down the floor with the basketball once again will come Oak Ridge. Jonathan Stewart for 3, no good. So that was a rough shot. He didn't really have good positioning, missed it, and they can tie it with a 2. But the Wildcats are going to almost steal the ball. They get a baseline jumper, missed it. Rebounded by the Wildcats. Down the floor comes Milloway to Kel Slater. Kel dribbles, drives, goes in. Jeremy Miller, 1 dribble, 1 shot, 2 points off the glass. Betty Wildcats won their ball game, really kind of driving to the rim, but the Wildcats definitely getting it to the rim with just about everybody.
Yeah, doing a great job of hitting it, with the exception of the three-pointer that Jonathan Stewart took on the last possession. They're doing a great job of trying to get the ball down low. Jonathan Milloway doing a great job. You know, West kind of got tired of having the ball thrown over their defender, so they put in their 6'7" guy, Darius Martin, but it hasn't seemed to really affect the efficiency of Milloway.
13-9, Oak Ridge in the lead. They've got the basketball along the baseline, kicking it out to Biven. Biven guarded by Jonathan Stewart. The Wildcats much more aggressive with their defense. Back to the corner he goes. Oak Ridge up 13-9, 2:17 to play. They've got a 3 off from the corner. It's up, no good. Rebound Oak Ridge. Coming out of there, Kel Slater. Kel gives it inside. Jonathan Stewart for the layup. Good. What a great feed right there. And Oak Ridge leads 15-9. Back the other way will come the Rebels. Blocked shot by the Wildcats. Here comes Lucas Searcy down the floor. Lucas in the ball game, along with Jamison Updegraft. Here comes Oak Ridge driving, stopping, shooting, Kel to the hole, no good. Rebounded by Biven. Biven with the basketball. Didn't really have numbers. They worked the ball and throw the ball away. The Oak Ridge basketball, Kel kind of forced it, I think, on the other end of the floor. The Wildcats will get it on their turnover. Out of the game will come Jonathan Stewart. Stafford Shanklin checks back in. 1:48 to play first quarter. 15-9. The Wildcats on top by 6 in this elimination game in the Region 2 basketball tournament. Kel's going to slowly walk the ball up the floor, looking down the floor, giving it out to Miller. Here they work the ball out to the top to Stafford, over to Kel, looks inside to a cutting Miller, can't get the ball to him, backs it up to Lucas Searcy, to Jeremy Miller. He drives in for the shot. It's blocked. He was held anyway before that. I don't know if you saw that, but they held him as he went in. They shoot a 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Stafford. They're pretty quick with their offense too. Stafford Shanklin quickly. Nice passes, tried to get it down the floor, but his skip pass to Jeremy Miller had a lot of mustard on it. It goes quickly bouncing out of bounds. Wildcats, another turnover there. They lead by 6, though. 1:18 to play in the first quarter. 15-9 the score. Here comes West down the floor. Rebel basketball, looking out to the top of the circle, swinging the ball around to the rim. They get a 3 off again. It's up off the back of the top of the backboard, out of bounds. Last touch by the West Rebels. 1:03 to play first quarter. Wildcats in the lead, 15-9, as Jeremy Miller comes out of the game, getting a little rest for probably the final minute 4 here. Comes the trap here. The Wildcats got lazy on the pass there. It's absolutely unacceptable. And the Rebels are going to drive in for a shot. They just got lazy on that play. That's absolutely terrible play right there, Mark.
Yeah, it was. Kel Slater just took for an assumption as number 10, Jamison Updegraft, made the 3 for the Wildcats. Wildcats lead 18-11.
44 seconds to play. Nearly a steal by Oak Ridge. They get a 3 off. It's on its way. It's good. And the Wildcats back on offense here, and Wildcats will try to work the ball down the floor. The Wildcats have got to concentrate here. That's got to do with your crisp passes. Here it goes to Kell. They're pressuring us in the rear court. Somebody's got to be open. Kell slings it across the way. Back to Updegraft. He goes into Milloway. Milloway drives, stops, shoots, and scores. Jonathan Milloway having himself quite a first half, and the Wildcat lead is back to 6. 20-14 the score. Here they come down the floor, setting it out for a three. It's on its way. Clang off the iron. No good. Rebounded by the Wildcats. Wildcats pull down the board. Here comes Kell. Kell pulls up. Three-pointer is no good as the first quarter comes to a close. We've played one quarter basketball here at the Wildcat Arena. Oak Ridge on top of West, 20-14. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back once again to the Wildcat Arena. We'd like to thank Ron and Laverne Myers for paying our TSSAA rights fee so we could broadcast the ball game today on our Prep Radio channel. And West has the balls. We start play here in the second quarter. 20-14, Oak Ridge in the lead. Rebel basketball. Top of the free throw line. They go inside for a shot, blocked away by Milloway. Personal foul, I think, is going to be called against Jonathan. That'll send them to the free throw line. One thing that has changed here in past years, I guess because of COVID here, in the region tournament, we normally would have the host of the Region 1 officials here, but we have our own officials, I guess, for COVID reasons, as they go to the free throw line, tosses up good. Free throw is made by William Bibb. You might have recognized these are familiar faces. Normally we have the Region 1 officials, but these are the association that we deal with on a game-by-game basis. Shot is up good, and the Wildcat lead is 4. 20-14 the score. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Jeremy Miller with the basketball across the line, top of the circle, gives it out to Jonathan Stewart. And before that, away from the ball, our local officials have called an illegal screen. That gentleman right there has called many of our ball games in the past, and we saw one of the guys from the Carnes game calling this one as they bring the ball down the floor. 20-16, West down by 4 with the basketball, playing hard, turning, spinning, nilly walking. Back to the top it goes. Number 20 with the basketball. He's a 6'3" sophomore player. Out to the top once again. Wildcats on top by 4, 7:23 to play. Some turnovers, some fouls. They get a little off-balance shot up. No good. Rebounded by Stafford Shanklin. Wildcat basketball. 7:15 to play first half. Down the floor will come Jeremy Miller. Miller in the paint. Miller to the hole. Miller to the hoop. Good. Jeremy Miller with aggressive play takes it off the glass, and Oak Ridge leads 22-16. 7 minutes to play second quarter, and that's, like I said, we've got to get Jeremy going, and Jeremy looks good here in the early going.
Yeah, he does. He's now at 6 points. Let's see, Lucas Searcy will pick up a foul against Bibbin. Bibbin has, he has 4 points tonight, 2 of 2 from the line.
They can cut the gap even further. Wildcats, really nice ball movement there by the West High Rebels as Lucas is going to check out. Kel Slater is going to check in. They have an opportunity for a three-point play. The Wildcats on top 22-18. Free throws missed, but they get the rebound, kick the ball back out once again. Rebel basketball, 22-18 Wildcats. The Wildcats have got to do a better job on the glass, and there's a nice drive there. Here's the shot, no good. Rebounded by Milloway. Milloway's nearly stripped of the ball, fires it down the floor. Over it goes to Jonathan Stewart, throws the ball inside of Jeremy. Jeremy double team, behind the back dribble. Here's a shot by Oak Ridge. Stafford gets the rebound back up, good. Stafford Shanklin hits the putback shot, and Oak Ridge leads 24-18. Oak Ridge's size already causing them some difficulty here. As the Rebels throw the ball back in the rear court, that should be an over and back. But what I was going to say, Oak Ridge's size really causing the Rebels some issues.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Milloway is very effective in there. And even when, like I said earlier, even when they put in their 6'7" guy to match Milloway, he was not very effective. And Milloway was still able to get the ball down low and have his way.
Here comes Kell, top of the key. Jeremy Miller for three. It's on its way. No good. Rebound tipped and saved by Jonathan. Milloway, no place to go except to Jeremy. Jeremy on the baseline goes in for the shot. Little three-footer, no good. Down the floor will come the Rebels. Jeremy's strength is not the three-point shot. As they drive in, dribble in, block shot by Milloway. They get the rebound, and they'll set it up once again. And honestly, I don't like it when he takes three-point shots. He can do it, but it kind of gets him out of in thinking a little bit about it, which we don't really want him to do. We want him just to do what Jeremy does best. Missed shot rebounded by the Wildcats, but then a foul is going to be called underneath the goal. Foul called against the Rebels, Mark.
The foul will be on number 33. That'll be his second. That's Houston Dyer. Team foul number 5 for the West Rebels. The Wildcats have a 6-point lead. They lead 24-18.
5 minutes, 35 seconds to play here. Second period, Oak Ridge basketball. Jonathan Milloway again scores. And I don't know, they had to have scouted the Wildcats. It's just nothing but, toss the ball into Jonathan Milloway here in the early going, and Oak Ridge has an 8-point lead. 26-18 the score. Needs some stops on defense here. The Wildcat offense has been pretty easy as they look for a backdoor drive. It's a great drive. They work the ball in, spinning. Shot is on its way. Good. I'm surprised he was able to get that shot off. Nice little play there by Pastrana. Here comes Oak Ridge. Outs to the top it goes to once again to Miller. Jeremy dribbles. Jeremy drives, pulls up, goes in for the shot. No good. Blocked away, taken away by the Rebels. Bibbins down the floor, layup, good. So that's 4 straight points for them. Here comes Oak Ridge's Jeremy Miller again, and he's going to be fouled. Wildcats, and there's a hard foul, and Jeremy takes a nasty tumble. Of course, in the Clinton ball game, the first time we played him here, Jeremy took a bad tumble and sprained his ankle here. What I was going to say here, they're leaving Jeremy free to shoot threes, and I just think that that's just really not his game. I'd rather him do what he's doing, and that's just take it to the rim.
Yeah, I mean, I think him being more aggressive on the inside is what the Wildcats need. It puts him closer to getting a rebound as well, David. I mean, having his height outside doesn't do the Wildcats as much good as it does with him as an extra body down low getting rebounds.
Second toss up, good. He hit them both, and it's 28-22, back to a 6-point game. The Wildcats have led by 8. Can't get it really much farther than that as the Rebels continue to be scrappy and get good play, good offensive sets here as they work for another backdoor play, set for a 3 outside the line. They won't shoot it. They'll drive with it this time to Preston. He kicks it out for a 3. It's on its way. No good. Rebound Oak Ridge. Jeremy Miller coming down the floor. Jeremy all the way to the right block, stops, and walks. That time he wanted, I think, to go in and dunk it, but he didn't have any numbers, and there was nobody really trailing him close, and the Wildcats turned the ball over. Too many turnovers in the first half for the Wildcats. The Rebels playing tough, trailing by 6, 28-22. Here's a steal by Oak Ridge, beautifully anticipated by the Wildcats. Jeremy's going to drive in for the shot. Good. Jeremy Miller scores, and Jeremy having himself a good first half, as is Jonathan Milloway. 30-22, back to an 8-point lead. 4 minutes to play in the first half. Rebel basketball, the winner plays the winner of Central and Maryville. As the Rebels work the ball, Gabriel Pastrana, 5'11 player, works the ball down low. They kick the ball along the baseline, cannot shoot. Back to the top, he goes once again to Pastrana. He dribbles in, pulls up, shoots. No good. Travel is going to be called against West. 3:45 to play second quarter. 30-22 Oak Ridge in the lead. Nice crowd on hand here, Mark.
Yeah, it really is, David. Good to see, especially the student section. I always love it. I said it many times. I love it when the student section shows up. They're so passionate for their fellow students and for their school that I love seeing the student section. I wish they would show up for the girls' games, though.
After one quarter down at the Don W. Lockhart Gym, Clinton leads Farragut 15-13. We'll be checking in with other scores tonight in Region 2 action. Jonathan Stewart dribbles right to Kell. Kell dribbles, looks in, steps to the ball, and grabs it right back. Trying to do too much, I think, as Lucas launches a 3. It's off the rim, no good. Rebound to the Rebels. I think Kell's had a great tournament run here, but I think trying to do just a little bit too much. That 3 is up, no good. They get another rebound. Good defense by Oak Ridge. They dribble in across across the paint, fall down. No turnover there. He never had the ball. They throw the ball nearly away at the midcourt circle. 3:10 to play, second quarter, 30-22 the score. Wildcats have got to take good shots here. There's a good one for West if they want it. They're going to set, dribble, shoot a three. Good. Baker Dance, the quarterback of their football team, knocks it down, and just like that, it's a 30-25 game. The Wildcats on top by 5. Oak Ridge's turnovers have been a difference here. Here's Jonathan Stewart for 3. Good. Jonathan Stewart knocks it down, his first 3 of the night. 33-25 the score, back to an 8-point lead. The turnovers are what keeping West really close in this ball game. Here's another one by them. Here comes Jonathan Stewart. He's stripped of the ball and fouled. They're going to call a personal foul against the Rebels. Wildcats have anticipated several of their passes and have taken them the other way. This time it'll be Oak Ridge going to the free throw line, I do believe, with Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah, Jonathan Stewart will be going to the line for a 1-and-1, David, since that's the 7th team foul. So the Wildcats will be in the bonus here in the remainder of the 2:34 remaining in the first half.
Jonathan on the year is a 65% free throw shooter, knocks it down. Oak Ridge has its biggest lead now. It's up to 9 at 34-25, trying to make it a 10-point game. Jonathan Stewart, coming into this game, had 607 career points, and just a moment ago hit his 88th career three-pointer. That's good enough for 22nd on the all-time list. Second toss is up, no good. Rebounded by the Rebels. 9-point Wildcat lead. Down the floor with the basketball come Houston Dyer. Dyer calls the plays. He brings the ball to the midcourt line where he's met by Kel Slater. Comes off on the left, comes back to his right, fires the pass on the right elbow. They drive in for a shot. Good. Count it, I believe. And a foul is going to be called, I believe, against Jonathan Milloway. Jonathan put his hand straight up. They do really good job getting those backdoor plays, Mark.
Yeah, they do. They set it up. I mean, I noticed earlier, David, they would set double pick, kind of a fence up top around the free throw line and, around the free throw line, trying to clear up a three-point shot. So, but they're good at setting picks up front, up top, and down low.
They've done a pretty good job hitting free throws here. It's back to a 6-point game. The Wildcats can't get it much over that. They had it to 9, but we're down to 2:13 to play. Kel Slater doesn't have room there. He backs it up to Stewart. Jonathan Stewart thought about a 3. Kel looks to Milloway. They're doing a much better job double-teaming him. Here's Stafford driving in. That's a fadeaway shot. That's not a good shot, but the Wildcats get the rebound. Kel gets a layup. It's blocked. Jeremy Miller back up. Good. Jeremy Miller with a nice putback bucket, and it's 36-28. The Wildcats trying to force a few things here. There's a 3. It's not forced. It hits the rim, though. They have the rebound because he pushed up to get it. Wildcats will get it on their personal foul. Minute 45 to play, second quarter. 36-28 the score. The Wildcats in the lead. A lot of times, and this is just my opinion, I see this a lot of times, especially after the district tournament, when they've given out the all-tournament awards. A lot of times you see players trying to do a little bit too much, and I think it's been a couple times tonight in this ballgame the Wildcats have tried to force a little bit when really the offense is coming easily to them, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, the offense seems pretty clear to me that they got to work the ball into Milloway. He's, has missed a shot. He's got 13 points in the ballgame. He has missed a 3 and a free throw.
3-point miss there, a long one. Rebound by Milloway. Here the Wildcats pushing it up to Jonathan Stewart right in front of the West bench. Oak Ridge holds the ball, gives it over to Kel Slater. Had the baseline drive, did not take it. Now he's going to shoot a 3. It's on its way. No good. That's what I'm saying. That's not really the shot they want there. Here's the alley-oop dunk. And that shot on the other end was not the shot they wanted from Kel Slater. I mean, it was somewhat open, but it wasn't. As Oak Ridge takes another one, just like that. Milloway gets the rebound, though, thank goodness, and he scores. 38-30 to score. The Wildcats up by 8. 1:04 to play here in the second period. They beat us down the floor. Stafford, though, cuts off the baseline. 59 seconds to play. 3-point shot is up good. Wildcat lead, cut to 5, 38-33. Just won't go away, this team. A lot of credit to them. They shoot the ball well. They run good sets. As Oak Ridge launches it once again, this time to Milloway for the shot on its way. Good. Looked like he was fouled, but not a call. It's 40-33. Here come the Rebels down the floor. Wildcats have got to do a little better job on defense, but all the credit goes to West. They run some really nice sets.
Yeah, they do. As we said, they try to do whatever they can to open people up, and everybody they're constantly moving. Nice takeaway by Jonathan Stewart. He'll go down the court for a layup, no good.
He he tried to drop it in instead of use the glass. I think he thought he was going to get fouled. They launched a three. It's good. So just like that, what would have been 2 points on the other end ends up being a bucket for them. You just got to take advantage of all of your opportunities as Jeremy's going to drive in. Jeremy works the ball. Jonathan Stewart at the buzzer. No good. Before that, Mark, the quarter comes to a close. So a good half of basketball for the West High Rebels. The Wildcats played okay basketball, but I know they can play much better. Your thoughts?
Well, looking at the score sheet here, David, they got outscored in the second quarter, so Wildcats going to have to really tighten it up here coming out of halftime. Obviously, the the Jonathan Milloway show is working very well. It's great to see Jeremy Miller scoring again. I know that he kind of struggled against Clinton the other night. You said historically he has struggled against Clinton, so good to see Jeremy Miller already in double figures here in the first half.
We'd like to thank once again Ron and Laverne Myers. They paid our TSSAA rights fee. The TSSAA charges $250 per ball game for us to stream, and that's well and beyond our regular sponsors. Normally they pay for the rest of it, but we've had to pay the rights fee. This is the first year we've really done the streaming, and the TSSAA, even in the pandemic, is charging the $250 per ball game to stream. And we appreciate Neil and Stephanie Thompson, who paid last night for the Farragut ball game. And we appreciate Ron and Laverne Myers for paying for tonight's game on YouTube. We also appreciate Jerry and Lisa Williams of Trinity Home Care and Consulting, LLC, and Bob and Ann McNeese. They are going to pay the rights fee for the Lady Wildcats game Monday against the Maryville Lady Rebels. We've reached halftime here at the Wildcat Arena. Oak Ridge on top of West, 40-36. We'll take a break. When we come back, Mark will run down the stats. We're on prepradio.com. We're on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. We're also on Oak Ridge Schools Television, Channel 15. 40-36 Wildcats. We'll be back with the stats in a moment. David Clary back here at the Wildcat Arena. Halftime score. The Wildcats are on top 40-36. While we wait for Mark to get ready with the statistics here, I can give you some scoring updates from Region 1. And kind of a shocking score, not so necessarily the who's ahead, but the Sevier County Smoky Bears lead Science Hill by a score of 34-17. 34-17. The Hilltoppers getting a beat down right now. Other scores, halftime scores, Dobbins Bennett is on top of Morristown East, 33-20. As I mentioned, last time I got a score from the Clinton game, they were up in the ball game over Farragut early, obviously. It was only 15-13. Here the Wildcats have the lead, 40-36, as we play at the Wildcat Arena. The winner of this game will take on the winner of the Maryville Central ball game, and I'll try to check in with that score here in a bit as well. Mark, I believe you've got the statistics completed. The Wildcats in a 40-36 ball game.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much, David. As you said, the Wildcats on top by 40-36. Leading scorer for the Oak Ridge Wildcats, Jonathan Milloway, he has 17 points in the ball game. He's 8 of 9 from the field. He's of those 0 of 1 from the free throw line, so he's perfect on his twos. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Jeremy Miller, also in double figures, as I said earlier, he has 10 points for the Wildcats. He's 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Jonathan Stewart's added 6 points for the Wildcats. He's 2 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 4 points added by Stafford Shanklin. He's 2 of 3 from the field, and then 3 points by Jamison Updegraff. He has a 3-point shot on 1 attempt. As a team, the Wildcats are shooting 17 of 33 from the field. There's 15 of 24 from two-point land, 2 of 9 from three-point land, and they're 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Now looking at the West High Rebels, they're led in scoring by Houston Dyer, who has 12 points for them. He's 5 of 6 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. William Biven has 8 points, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Aram Kubas has 8 points as well for the West High Rebels. He's 1 of 2 from two-point land, 2 of 6 from three-point land. Baker Dance has added 3 points for the Rebels. He's 1 of 2 from beyond the three-point line. And Gabriel Pastrana has 2 points. He's 1 of 6 from the field. So as a team, the Rebels are 14 of 32 from the field. They're 9 of 16 from twos, 5 of 16 from threes, and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Oak Ridge led at the end of the first quarter, 20-14. Then West outscores the Wildcats in the second quarter, 22-20. But Oak Ridge holds on to a 4-point lead as they lead at the half by a score of 40-36. David?
Looking at other scores here, halftime score, the Farragut Admirals on top of the Clinton Dragons, 25-23. And looks like Bearden is on top of Carnes at the half, 29-19. Of course, the winner of this ball game, Oak Ridge and West, takes on the winner of Maryville Central. And I'm still trying to track down that score as well. And we'll try to get that on for you as soon as possible. Once again, Ron and Laverne Myers have sponsored our YouTube stream as the Wildcats come walking somberly out of the dressing room here. The Wildcats trying to move on to the semifinals to take on either Central or the Maryville Rebels. And to do it, they have to win this ball game because this is do or die. If you don't win the ball game, your season comes to a close. We're moments away from the start of the second half. The Wildcats have started to warm up down below. It's Oak Ridge on top, 40-36. My name is David Clary, along with Mark and Shauna Hayes. We're also joined tonight by Jordan Osborne and Christian Rosas Rodriguez. 40-36 Wildcats. Back for the second half in a moment. Welcome back once again to the Wildcat Arena. The second half just moments From getting underway here, I've got another halftime score here, a very low-scoring ball game at Maryville. The Rebels on top of Central, 16-14 at the halfway mark. I mentioned Bearden on top of Carnes, 29-19. Farragut on top of Clinton, 25-23. Here it's 40-36. Oak Ridge has the most points scored of anybody in the region tournament right now, but they've also given up the most, and I know that probably disappoints Coach Green more than anything, Mark.
Yeah, I'm sure. And a lot of it, by turnovers, unfortunately. He really doesn't like the careless play that the Wildcats can sometimes get into. And so they got to, like I said, they got to kind of shore that up, tighten that up here in the second half.
Tell me again what Kel Slater and Stafford Shanklin had in the first half as the Wildcats get the ball first. Coming down the floor will come Kel Slater up by 4. The Wildcats' biggest lead, 9. The Wildcats work it out. Motion with Jeremy Miller driving right. No place to go. Slubs it inside. And Milloway for the shot. No good. He's fouled. Jonathan Milloway will go to the free throw line.
Kel is yet to score, David, and Stafford Shanklin has 4 points.
And that's a big difference. That's what I was noticing about Kel. Kel has got to get a little bit more involved, too, but we'd rather have him going to the rim than shooting threes, as Jonathan Milloway's shot is good. 41-36. The Wildcat lead is back up to 5, 7:47 to play. As the Wildcats' big guy goes to the free throw line, 18 points in the ball game for Jonathan Milloway. Second toss on its way up there. No good. Rebound to the West High Rebels. 41-36. Here comes West. Mal moving left to right as we broadcast here at the Wildcat Arena. Round 1 of the Region 2 tournament. Nearly a steal by Jeremy. Saved on the floor by Jeremy Miller. He's going to take it coast to coast. Will he dunk it? He's going to go in for the shot. Good. And he's fouled. Jeremy Miller with the West turnover, turning it into points and an opportunity for a three-point play.
Picking up that foul, David, will be Iram Kulas. He picked up his third, so now West with 2 individuals with 3 fouls.
Jeremy will go to the free throw line. That's what we like Jeremy doing. That's what we're accustomed to seeing him do. Has an opportunity to give Oak Ridge once again an 8-point lead, and he missed it. Rebounded by the Rebels. 43-36, West down the floor. Got to quit giving up some wide-open threes as the Rebels work the ball top of the circle. Here it goes to Biven. Of course, this West team will be in our district starting next year. They're going to be replacing in our district as we move up to 4A basketball. They're going to be replacing Anderson County Halls and Clinton. West will be coming out of District 4, there's that wide open 3 again. He missed it, though. Rebound to Oak Ridge. On a deflection, Stafford to Milloway. Here come the Wildcats. Jonathan Stewart to Jeremy Miller. Kicks the ball back out high. There's Jonathan. Won't take the 3. Jonathan Stewart will. From the left side, it's up. Good. 3-point shot, Jonathan Stewart. And the Wildcats have their biggest lead. It's up to 10. 46-36 to score. Second 3 of the night. There's an air ball shot, maybe partially deflected by the Rebels. The Wildcats have the leads. 2 threes now for Jonathan Stewart. Here come the Wildcats setting up their offense. The head coach of the Wildcats, Aaron Green, says to kind of slow it down just a bit as he works the ball to the right. Here it goes to Stewart. The lob into Milloway. He drives, goes up for the shot against the big guy. He shoots, and what's the call? He's going to be tied up. I think Coach Green thought he might have gotten hammered, and the official that was so bad in the Carnes game, he and Coach Green having a discussion right now, and it'll be their basketball, 46-36 to score. Here come the Rebels down the floor. How'd you see that one, Mark?
There was a lot of contact before that actually happened, David. I would have called a foul there and sent Jeremy Milloway or Jonathan Milloway to the line.
They're going to call a foul, and there's the guy that was so bad in the Carnes ball game. It looked like a little bit of a kickball, but it's going to go against the Wildcats, and they'll try to work the ball in. They'll work it in with the big 6'7" guy. Wildcats by 10, 46-36. 6:05 to play in the third period. Their basketball. Top of the circle. They've hit some threes in this game. They're going to dribble inside the paint. Fadeaway jumper is off the rim. No good. Rebound. What's the call? No way. He's going to... That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. They're going to call Jonathan Stewart with the foul, it looks like. And that is just bad. The guy down on the baseline has a short temper, obviously. Coach Green evidently made him mad, and that was definitely over the back. Jonathan was called for the foul. The pass is intercepted for a second. Now who are they going to call this one on, Mark?
Jonathan Stewart again, David. That'll be his third.
46-36 the score, so the Wildcats are going to get Lucas Searcy in the ball game. Lucas has got to play some steady, good, solid basketball for the Wildcats while Jonathan is out. Here come the Rebels with the basketball down by 10. 46-36 the score. 5 minutes, 53 seconds to play third quarter. We're streaming this game on YouTube thanks to our sponsors, Ron and Laverne Myers. We thank them for paying the rights fee. A double screen for three. Good. They do a really good job doing that. They don't have size, but they do good job screening. Here comes Kell to the hole. Pulls up, shoots, no good. Rebound knocked out by West. They say it was last touched by Oak Ridge. Kell has got to get on the scoreboard. That they're not allowing him getting to the rim. We need to stop right here. This is what happened in the first half. Oak Ridge would build up a lead, and then they'd pop off a couple threes and get some easy buckets and cut it down. The Wildcats need a stop here as they work the ball, driving in all the way to the baseline. Shot is on its way. No good. Rebound to Kell Slater. Here come the Wildcats down the floor, pushing it up to Stafford. Stafford goes in for the shot. Good. Stafford Shanklin scores. I thought he was fouled there, but he wasn't. 48-39 the score. Down the floor, once again, will come the Rest High Rebels. Oak Ridge in the lead, 48-39, Rebel basketball. They work the ball left side, won't take the three here. Out it goes once again to Pastrana, and then somebody falls down, no foul. No harm, no foul. 48-39 the score, 4:45 to play third quarter. They drive in, pull up, shoot an 8-footer, good. Wildcat defense has been pretty porous here today. They're giving up 41 points as the Wildcats work it out to Kell. Here goes Stafford Shanklin around to Lucas Searcy. Searcy's going to drive the baseline, get a shot up. Good. What a great drive there by Lucas.
Yeah, way to pass up. He had an opportunity to take a three, but he passed it up and drove in and took a two-footer for 2 points, David.
9-point Oak Ridge lead here, 4:17 to play third period. With the basketball will come the Rebels once again. They send the big guy at the free throw line. He's an imposing fellow. Outside the three-point line, they're going to dribble. Looked like they wanted to shoot a three. This one's going to be a two. It's up. It is no good. Rebounding position for Oak Ridge. Stafford Shanklin and Milloway in good position. Now Kell's going to take it strong to the hole. Left-handed block, but Miller is up with a shot. Good. Jeremy Miller gets the putback bucket, and Oak Ridge has its biggest lead at 11 at 52-41 the score. Great drive there by the Wildcats, Jeremy Miller.
Yeah, it really was. I was just trying to figure out kind of what was going on. Jeremy Miller's come out of the game. I don't know if it's for medical reasons. It doesn't look like he's being looked at medically. So in the game for the Wildcats now is Jameson Updegraff.
3 minutes, 47 seconds to play third quarter, 52-41. Here comes the backdoor play and the dunk once again. Wildcats got caught napping. 52-43 the score. Wildcats back on offense. Here comes Kell down the floor. Lucas Searcy will not pull the trigger and shoot the three. 3:30 to play, 52-43 the score. Wildcat basketball. Kell stripped of the ball. Kell really struggling in this game. They get a layup. Good. 52, just like that, to 44, and they're getting right back in it. Another costly turnover. The Wildcats bring the ball down the floor. Kell dribbles, drives, pulls up, wants to shoot, kicks the ball instead, almost throws the ball away and did. Another turnover, Kell Slater. They get a layup. Good. So shot it on the other end or not, as the Wildcats are struggling. You know, Kell was the MVP of the tournament, but really struggling here. And listen, he doesn't need to force it here. He just needs to do what Kell does best. Here's Slater with it, top of the circle. Now we're down to a 5-point game. It was 7. Wildcat basketball. They've got Milloway up high, and the Wildcats almost throw the ball away. There's going to be a foul.
It's going to be a foul on West, David, number 33, Houston Dyer. He picks up his third, team third of the half. One of the things I've noticed, David, is Oak Ridge doing a better job, breaking through that the two-man set wall at the top of the key as they kind of – Lucas Searcy did a great job of just stepping right through that wall.
Here's a fadeaway shot. It's up, no good. Rebounded back up by Stafford. Good. Kell Slater just cannot find his shot here tonight. 52-47 the score. Put back, they launch a three. Clang off the iron, no good. Milloway has the board. Jonathan Milloway. The Wildcats were up by 11. The Wildcats throw the ball away. Too many turnovers in the ball game. It's frustrating because there's so much talent on here, and I know obviously nobody wants to turn the ball over, and they play fast, and you're going to get turnovers when you play fast. But this game, the Wildcats could have really had a huge lead if not so many turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, 2 turnovers a couple possessions ago, David. I mean, 2 consecutive turnovers by Kel Slater, cut the lead. I mean, it allowed 4 points by West. So it took our lead from 9 points down to 5 very quickly.
Oak Ridge on top, 54-47. Stafford works the ball in. And it comes to Jeremy Miller. Jeremy's going to drive right to the hole. Here's a shot, blocked, but he's fouled. Jeremy Miller has spent a lot of time mopping up the floor here. He has been knocked down several times, and Jeremy will go to the free throw line. The good news, the M&M boys, they've come to play here tonight.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they were both in double figures in the first half, David. Just a great night. And then, both of them, obviously seniors. We have other seniors on the team as well. But both of them, you can tell their grit tonight of not wanting to see their season end.
First free throw is good by Jeremy. Oak Ridge on top, 55-47. Minute 55 to play third quarter. A nail biter, really, here at the Wildcat Arena. Senior back to the free throw line. Jeremy tosses it, knocks it down. 56-47, back to a 9-point lead. Oak Ridge's biggest lead, I think, was 11. Here come the Rebels down the floor. Minute 53 to play. Jordan Osborne is helping us out here, along with Christian Rosas Rodriguez. Wildcats, we have Mark and Shauna Haste here. They work the ball top of the circle. Here it goes to, I believe, Pastrana. 5'11" junior player guarded by Kell, works the ball to his left. Minute 35 to play, top of the circle. It goes out to Baker Dance. They work the ball to the top once again. A lot of motion as they drive in, kick the ball back out. Way outside for a 3. It's on its way. It is up. No good. Milloway on the rebound, looks for a guard. Is going to bring the ball down the floor. Now give it off to Kell Slater. Minute 20 to play, third quarter, 56-47 the score. Oak Ridge basketball. Kell Slater has Stafford Shanklin here. Works the ball to Miller. Here's the lob inside Milloway. This time it's pulled down by the big guy. Here comes the Rebels wanting to drive. Good defense there by Miller, but then they launch a 3. It's good. 3-point shot by William Bibbin, and it's 56-50. Back to a 6-point game with 58 seconds to play. The Wildcats have got to quit turning the ball over. That's what honestly is keeping this game close, Mark Haste.
It is. I mean, as I said, David, Kell had 2 consecutive turnovers. Jeremy Miller had just had another turnover as he tried to get the ball into Milloway. It was just picked off by their big guy, Darius Martin. But you're exactly right. I mean, these turnovers are really affecting the Wildcats and their lead.
And our ball game is brought to you again tonight by Ron and Laverne Myers. And tomorrow, actually Monday's ball game, the Lady Wildcats take on the Maryville Rebels here at the Wildcat Arena. 7 o'clock tip-off. Jerry and Lisa Williams of Trinity Home Care and Consulting, LLC, and Bob and Ann McNeese are going to be our sponsors for the Lady Wildcats ball game. Here comes in to Kell Slater. Kell trapped in the rear court's got to get through it. The Wildcats have numbers. Here it goes out to the top. Wildcats are going to drive all the way, kick it out to the top. Here it goes to Kell. Oak Ridge by 6, 56-50. 47 seconds to play in the third period. Oak Ridge basketball. Kell Slater, I don't believe, is still yet to score in the ball game. As there he goes.
Well, now.
You should want to hear off the glass shot. Good. They just left him free there, and he was able to get a great drive. Nice pass by Stafford, and Kell has his first 2 points. Maybe that'll get the little guy going.
Hopefully so. You could tell the Wildcats were trying to take, run clock here as the third quarter comes to an end. But they were just, you don't want to pass up an easy shot like they did with Kell Slater.
Little tough break there for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has a bouncing rebound as Kell is going to be cut off. Works the ball across the line. Jeremy Miller dribbles, kicks the ball out. Last touch by the Rebels. 5 seconds to play. Oak Ridge still on top only by 6, 58-52. Remember last year's first round ball game was a nail biter. William Blunt had a 3-pointer at the buzzer, which could have tied it to send it to overtime. Oak Ridge ball. Wildcats fire it in. Stafford Shanklin, 3-pointer from the corner. No good. Tracked down by the Rebels as the third quarter comes to a close. We've played 3 quarters of basketball. One of these 2 teams will move on. The other season comes to a close. 58-52 Wildcats. We'll be back to the Wildcat Arena in a moment. David Clary back here at the Wildcat Arena, 58-52, Wildcats in the lead. Some updates from the other ball games. The Central Bobcats are on top of Maryville, 27-23. The winner of this game will take on the winner of that game. Carnes still trailing at the half, 29-19. Farragut still on top of Clinton. We'll have final scores here at the conclusion of our ball game, and we'll kind of set the bracket for you. Fourth quarter about to get set. Oak Ridge on top, 58-52. The Wildcats get the ball first as we start play here. 58-52. The Wildcats have had a couple double-digit leads in this one, haven't been able to hold them. Kel Slater down the floor for the Wildcats, gives it over to Stafford Shanklin. Over goes Jonathan Milloway. The Wildcats, here goes Jonathan Stewart inside to Milloway. Milloway draws the contact, gets the bucket, and an opportunity for a three-point play. Well done, Mr. Milloway, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, great job. As looking at this sheet here, David, Milloway was he only had 1 point in the third quarter after having 17 in the first half. So now Milloway with 20 points with an opportunity to go to 21.
And he does. Shot is good. And the Wildcat lead is 61-52. Now the Wildcats need some stops on defense here. They can't give up anything cheap. 7:43 to play in the ball game, 61-52. Lady Wildcats will take on Maryville, and that game will be at the Wildcat Arena coming up on Monday. That'll be a 7 o'clock game. We'll hope you'll come out to the Lady Wildcats and watch the Lady Wildcats Arena as they work the ball inside for a shot. No good. Rebound, Stafford Shanklin puts the ball down and gives it to Jonathan Stewart. Here come the Wildcats. Jonathan pulls up, shoots a three. No good. Rebound, Jeremy Miller. One dribble, one shot. Hammered by the entire West team. Personal foul called against about everybody in red down there. Just kind of knocked Jeremy away from getting the shot to fall, and he'll go to the free throw line. 61-52. Why don't you run down the scoring real quick, Mark?
For the Wildcats, Stafford Shanklin has 8. Jonathan Stewart with 9. Let's see. Kel Slater has 2. 3 points by Jamison Updegraff. Lucas Searcy has 2. Jeremy Miller has 17, and Jonathan Milloway 21.
62-52 the score as he hits the first toss, trying to equal the biggest lead here. Jeremy Miller to the free throw line, 7:16 to play. Toss, good. 63-52 the score, an 11-point Wildcat lead. 7 minutes, 14 seconds to play in the basketball game. Their basketball. Rebels moving left to right here, wearing their all-red jerseys. Pastrana outside the line, can't take a three. Down to 7:01 to play here. They will look back door. They're going to drive in. Milloway can't block the shot. They get the rebound up. Oh, no good. Rebound once again. Here comes a three. They need it. He missed it. Rebound, Oak Ridge. Stafford Shanklin. Wildcats with an 11-point lead, 63-52. 6 minutes, 47 seconds to play in the ballgame. The winner advances to play the winner of Maryville and Central on Tuesday. Oak Ridge basketball. Jonathan Stewart. Cross court, Jeremy Miller. Miller works the ball back out to Stafford Shanklin. Shanklin harassed. Gives it back out to Kel. Kel splits the defense. Finds Jonathan Stewart for three. No good. Rebounds to Stafford Shanklin. Stafford underneath, but a foul might be called against Jeremy Miller. We'll check the call here, Mark.
They're going to call it against number 24 West. That'll be Kuvas. That'll be his 4th, David. Team 7. So 1-and-1 situation for Milloway as he goes to the line with 21 points. He's now, 3 of 5 from the free throw line.
Back in the ball game for them will come Taylor Preston, 5'10 senior player. Milloway to the line, tosses on its way, no good. Almost got his own rebound. Here come the Rebels. Got to get a stop on defense. There's a near turnover there. They work the ball back out, and they'll drive in, kick the ball inside. Nice ball movement. Shot is good. I think it was Baker Dance off the glass, and it's 63-54, 9-point Oak Ridge lead. Kel breaks the pressure easily, dribbles left side, gives it into Jonathan. Jonathan will not shoot. Wildcats back it up to Stafford Shanklin. He wants to drive. Stafford turning, spinning, driving, off balance shot, no good. Gets his own rebound deflected by Milloway, saves it, and then what's the call?
Timeout, Oak Ridge.
5 minutes, 55 seconds to play. Oak Ridge holding on to a 9-point lead, Mark. 63-54. They told me this West team is scrappy, and they really are.
Yeah, they are. I mean, this is an exciting game to watch, David. I mean, at no point, even though, at one point we're up by 11, right now we're up by 9. I don't feel safe with that amount of lead. I mean, they can come down, they can hit threes. The Wildcats can, have another turnover. And so, no lead is safe here tonight, David.
63-54 Wildcats, 5 minutes, 55 seconds to play. The winner of this game will take on either Central or Maryville. I kind of told you before the ball game, and this game is being played at Maryville tonight. I thought Central had an opportunity. The matchup there is not a great one for the Maryville Rebels, but, as of right now, it's still a very tight ball game, and you'd expect Maryville to win on their home floor, but heading into the fourth quarter, Central had a 4-point lead. But we've talked about Central all season long. If they ever really got it together, they would be really dangerous at tournament time, and they're giving Maryville fits right now.
I mean, they're a very talented team. That number 2, I never can remember his name, but man, he can shoot from anywhere in the gymnasium at any time, and he can, typically make them. So they're just a phenomenal team.
Oak Ridge basketball. Nice. He's a bounce pass. Great feed. The shot is good. Great ball movement by the Wildcats, and the head coach of the Westside Rebels is furious because that was just way too easy. Down the floor of the basketball, once again, will come the Rebels. Oak Ridge on top by 11, 65-54, equaling their biggest lead. They've had it 4 different times. Here's a deflection steal, Jeremy Miller. Here come the Wildcats. Oak Ridge doesn't need to force it, but Jeremy's going to take it strong to the hole. No good. Like I said, they didn't really need to force it. Jeremy got hammered, it looked like. Here comes the Rebels down the floor. I think Jeremy just kind of forced it just a bit. Probably should have taken a little bit more time. Rebel basketball. Houston Dyer with it. Backs it up. 5:20 to play. With the basketball will come the Rebels. The Maryville Rebels and the Central Bobcats are playing right now. There's a charge. Should be anyway.
They call block.
The top official was going to call a charge. The guy that was so bad in the Carnes game called the blocking foul, not a shooting violation. It'll be once again the Rebels with the basketball. It'll be Baker Dance to work the ball in. You probably remember his name, Mark. He was the quarterback of that Maryville or that West High team as they throw the ball away. That West High team that Oak Ridge played twice this year. Baker Dance, his dad was a great football player at Farragut back in our day. Here comes the Wildcats down the floor. Trap. Stafford with it over to Kell. 5:04 to play. Kell breaks the press, gives it in to Jonathan Stewart aggressively to the hole. No good. Milloway goes up with it. No good. Another foul called against West. 65-54 the score. Boy, Jonathan exploded to the rim that time. Foul called against West. And Jonathan Milloway will go to the free throw line.
Number 14, Baker Dance, picks up his 4th foul, David. And Milloway, as you said, to the line again. First free throw is up. No good.
They'll have another one. 65-54. Maryville has taken a 34-31 lead over the Central Bobcats. Clinton is trailing in their ball game as Jonathan goes back to the free throw line. 4:57 to play. Tosses up good. Wildcats have their biggest lead now, 66-54, a 12-point advantage. 4 minutes, 55 seconds to play in the ballgame. Ron and Laverne Myers, our sponsors, are paid for the YouTube stream that we're doing here tonight on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Of course, the TSSAA, the money grab organization that it is, there's a travel called against the Rebels. Charge $250 per game to be streamed in a pandemic when they put restrictions on attendance. Makes no sense to me, but thank goodness for Neil and Stephanie Thompson, Ron and Laverne Myers, Jerry and Lisa Williams of Trinity Home Care and Consulting, LLC, and Bob and Ann McNeese. They've paid for the first 3 ball games that we're going to have. And looks like we might have a 4th that the Wildcats can hold on, so we'll be needing more sponsors. Oak Ridge basketball leading by 12, 66-54 the score. Kel Slater with the basketball, works it off to Jonathan Milloway. The Wildcats running time here, Mark. They're not as aggressive, the Rebels, that is, as Kel's going to drive in right to the hole. Good. That's a Kel Slater drive that we saw in the district tournament, and it's 68-54 the Wildcats with their biggest lead.
As number 23 takes a 3-pointer for them. No good, rebounded by the Wildcats, David. Kel Slater now with 6 points.
Here comes Oak Ridge's Milloway inside of Miller. Back to Jonathan. What's the call? The Wildcats, nothing. Here comes Kell dribbling, driving inside. That's a pinball machine right there, just kind of bouncing off a ton of players. But the Rebels fire the ball down the floor and throw it away. 68-54. The Wildcats beat West in that upset in the football season. And I kind of figured the Rebels would have a little revenge on their mind. And I'll give them a lot of credit. Their record is not great, Mark, but they are a really good basketball team. I'm surprised they haven't won more. They did beat Maryville once, and they've beaten Fulton on the year. This is a really good team.
Yeah, it is, David, as Gabriel Prestiana picks up a foul. That'll be just his first team Ninth. I had it for their 10th. But, okay, Kel Slater will go to the line for the Wildcats. This will be his first attempt from the line tonight. He has 6 points, as I said earlier. But you're exactly right. This is a good West team.
Free throw no good. 68-54 the score. 3:30 to play. Here's a steal by Oak Ridge. Here comes Jonathan Stewart. Will he dunk it? He tried. Missed it. Hangs on the rim. And he told me that he was going to try to get a dunk. Couldn't do it. Hopefully they didn't call a technical right there. He went up for the dunk there. And
they're talking about it. Yeah, it will be a technical. He hung on the rim and tried to grab the ball on the other side and put it in. And Coach Green is not happy about that.
No, he told me he was going to try to get a dunk, and I've kind of pushed him to do it as they go to the free throw line with William Biven. This is the kind of thing you don't want to let a team get back in it, as Biven misfires on the free throw. William Biven is 6'3". He's a junior. We got to get used to this team. We're going to be seeing them twice next year as they will be in our district. 3:23 to play in the ball game. 14-point Oak Ridge lead. Free throw is good. 68-55, and now the Rebels will get the basketball side court. Jordan Osborne, Christian Rosas Rodriguez, Mark and Shauna Haste will have tomorrow off. Then the Lady Wildcats will be right back here on Monday. It's kind of cool having all the postseason games here at the Wildcat Arena. No traveling at all. So far, it's been very successful for the Oak Ridge teams as the Wildcats lead in this one 68-55. A lot of time to play, though. 3:12 to play. They're being very deliberate. Biven's going to get a fadeaway three off. It's going to hit the rim. No good. Rebounded by Milloway. That's some good defense right there. They just didn't let the Rebels get any kind of a good look at the rim.
No, you saw Jeremy Miller that time just step right through the double screen. So good job. Coach Green obviously made an adjustment there, and the Wildcats have taken it to heart.
Wildcats should have had a layup, or could have had a layup just a minute ago as Lucas had cut free. Now Jeremy's going to drive in for the shot. Missed it. Stafford's got the rebound back up. No good, and Stafford Shanklin will be fouled. Once again, Jeremy Miller hits the ground hard. He spent a lot of time down on the hardwood floor of Jill Pruden floor. As Stafford Shanklin goes to the free throw line, and that might be the fifth foul on Baker Dance.
It is, David. He fouls out with 2:37 remaining in the ballgame. He'll go to the bench with 7 points.
68-55 the score, and Stafford will go to the free throw line. Stafford's played well for the Wildcats all season long. He's the second leading scorer on the team, 359 points coming into this one. Knocks that one down. Wildcats back up by 14. With Stafford's free throw, they can take the biggest lead of the night. 69-55 the score. Second toss, good. 70-55. The defense has been much better in the second half, Mark.
It has. You were just talking about Stafford Shanklin. He's had a really, if I remember correctly, he had a really good game against Clinton in the district championship.
Here comes a fadeaway shot short. I think the Rebels are getting tired, Mark, as the Wildcats. That shot fell short. Milloway's just going to bring the ball down on the floor himself, give it up to Stafford. Stafford's going to drive in. No good. He is fouled, and Stafford Shanklin will go to the free throw line. I'm feeling pretty good about this one, Mark. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. Oak Ridge up by 15.
Yeah, it's looking much better. 15-point lead with 2:15, and you can kind of sense the desperation on by the West High Rebels, David. They're taking just kind of ill-advised shots right now. As the first free throw is up and good by Shanklin. He's in double figures now with 11 points.
71-55 Wildcats. Second free throw, no good. And he battles trying to get his own rebound, but jumped in the lane just a little bit too quick. It'll be West coming down the floor. So the Wildcats are going to win their 25th ball game here tonight, and it wasn't a tough game. A little bit better than last year's game. I don't know if you remember. I know, Mark, you don't remember. You're not like me. You don't remember and have trouble sleeping on games that we don't play well. Last year against William Blount had a three-pointer at the buzzer, which would have tied the game and sent it into overtime. They were the fourth-place team last year. Another missed shot by West, rebounded by Stafford. Stafford bounced past left side to the Wildcats' Lucas Searcy. back to the top to Milloway. They were tight. Coach Green thought the entire postseason, the next ball game was against Bearden, and the Wildcats go in with Kel Slater. He scores, and he's fouled, and we'll go to the free throw line. They had a tight one. They grinded it out against the Bearden Bulldogs and didn't play well against the Maryville Rebels. He didn't think they played well in the postseason until, as the Wildcats are going to clear their bench, he didn't think they played well until the Science Hill ball game.
That was, I guess I would agree with that. I know the Science Hill game was very good, and we went up there, as I recall, David. There's a memory for you.
Yeah, good job there, Mark, as the toss is up good by Kel. The Wildcats are going to lead by 19 now and head to the semifinals, one win away, like the Lady Wildcats from the Sub-State. 94 seconds to play in the ball game, 74-55. Thank you very much, Ron and Laverne Myers, for sponsoring our broadcast on our YouTube stream as they try to get the ball inside. The Wildcats have in the game currently Nick Dallas, Flip Thompson, Caden Updegraft, along with his twin brother Jamison Updegraft. The Wildcats have Darren Osborne in the ballgame too. 74-55, Rebel basketball. They work the ball in, right side it goes. Number 21 driving with it, that's William Biven. And they throw the ball away. I think they are sensing what's about to happen here. The Wildcats are headed for a victory here. We'll have a final score of the Maryville Central ball game. I think a lot of people would be surprised, even the fact that Central is so close. The Wildcats are going to drive in. Let's see if Nick Dallas is going to get a bucket. Nope, it's going to be taken away by the Rebels. Here they come down the floor, coast to coast with it. Here comes a three-pointer. It's up good. 74-58 the score. Down the floor with the basketball, and a timeout is asked for. Mark, Lady Wildcats in action against Maryville Monday. That game will be at the Wildcat Arena. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off. Wildcat boys might be playing the Maryville Rebels on Tuesday. No strangers to the Wildcat Arena, especially at region tournament time.
No, we've seen them many times, David. So, and they're always tough. I mean, they have a really good, people used to think of Maryville for their football program, but they have a very good basketball program here as of late as well.
74-58, the Wildcats with 1 minute to play. Great crowd on hand here, and I'm proud of our student section here. I see big Kai Hirsch right in the middle of them. Down there below, a lot of the football guys in attendance here, and that's great to see. I love it when the entire student body comes out, but I love it even better when the guys from other sports come and support the other athletes in the school.
Yeah, I'm just, as I've said many times, Dave, I'm just a real big fan of, the student section, just the passion that they show.
Well, the Wildcats get a layup off the glass, goes on a nice slice, assist by Flip Thompson. The bucket is by Jamison Updegraft. He's got 5 points in the ball game. 76-58, an 18-point lead. So the first place team looks like they're going to knock off the fourth place team in about 48 seconds. And it's good to get these other guys a chance to play because they didn't really get to play much in the Clinton or the Carnes ball games because they were tough, as there's a foul called against Oak Ridge. 47 seconds to play in the ball game. The West High Rebels season's going to come to a close. Maryville on Monday, maybe Maryville on Tuesday. The winners of Monday and Tuesday's ball game play for a championship, and more importantly, honestly, they get a chance to go to a sub-state ball game, a sectional as they call it now. Flip Thompson down the floor after the missed shot. Flip's going to drive right, wait, give it inside, drive it into Caden Updegraft for the shot. Good. Caden Updegraft gets his first points in the ball game, and Oak Ridge has a lead of 78-58, their biggest lead of the night, a 20-point advantage with 25 seconds to play. The Updegraft wins in the score books here tonight, but there's going to be a foul. Looks like Jamison, sporting a new haircut, is going to be the one who commits the personal foul. It'll be number 4, Gabriel Pastrana, 5'11 junior. Like I said, these guys are going to be in our district, so we got to get used to playing them.
They're a good program too, David. And I believe their coach is his first year coaching at West, if I'm not mistaken.
What's his name again, Mark?
I'd have to see it written down.
Right. It's a tough one, and I'll spell it for you in a minute. No disrespect to him, as that's a nice little drive there by Flip. It is Alban Gaporio, I believe, as they score on the other end, and it's now 78-58. to 61. The Wildcats in the lead with 6 seconds. The Wildcats trapped in the rear court, and that's the ball game. The Wildcats have defeated the West High Rebels by a final score of 78 to 61. So after really a struggle, honestly, Mark, it was a struggle, especially in the first half, I thought. The Wildcats turned the ball over way too many times, but then Oak Ridge got it going, played the kind of ball we're accustomed to them playing. They didn't turn the ball quite as much over. They started missing shots, for one, missing three-point shots, and I thought Oak Ridge played a superb second half.
They really did, David. Here's a quick stat for you. Oak Ridge outscored West in the fourth quarter 20-9. So they really opened it up there in the fourth quarter where, as I said, West kind of started taking more desperation shots.
So the Wildcats win it by a final score of 78 to 61, and they will move on and play either Central or Maryville, who are still playing right now. Hopefully we'll get a final score on that. Our sponsors, we'll thank them once again, Ron and Laverne Myers, for sponsoring our YouTube stream. We know we get 600 to 1,000 people watching these streams, and it's also streamed on Channel 15, so we don't even know how many watch it there. Obviously, we have people listening on prepradio.com, and we couldn't do it without all of our sponsors, including the Fox Insurance Group, 10 Bank of Oak Ridge, Ortho Tennessee, Mortgage Investors Group, the Oak Ridge Utility District. We couldn't do it without these people. I mean, they are the reason why we were able to broadcast. We are not associated with a radio station. We are associated with ourselves. We do it as a community service, and we like to thank all the people who've made our broadcast possible. 78-61 the score. Oak Ridge wins. We'll be back with a look at the stats and more. Coach Green will be joining me. We'll get to that in a moment. Welcome back once again to the Wildcat Arena. The fans kind of wandering out of the arena here. The Wildcats win the ball game 78 to 61, and waiting to get some other final scores. I do have a couple finals here. A couple might surprise you. This one doesn't. Dobbins Bennett beats Morristown East 64 to 39. Science Hill up or down by 6 now. They've closed the gap against Sevier County. It's 47 to 41. Joining me is Mike Sheehan. Mike, a longtime member of our broadcast crew here. Mike, the Wildcats, a few too many turnovers in the first half, but the ship got righted and they played some pretty good basketball in the second half. We're going to get Mike on here once again. We got a little trouble with his microphone here. Looking at trying to get more. Okay, Bearden has defeated Carnes by a final score of 71 to 34, and still waiting for that Maryville game. Mike.
Okay, can you hear me now, David?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. 78 to 61.
Mark turned me back on here. Yeah, it was really close right at the half, 40-36. They were on, and then they came out in the third quarter and played much better. And I tell you, Jonathan Milloway was a beast on the board tonight, David. I don't have the stat on how many rebounds he had, but I guarantee he had over 20, and he was just a force inside. And they had a 6'7" player on their team that let's see, Darius Martin, but he was about as slow a foot of a 6'7" young man I've ever seen, and he's a senior, but so he wasn't really a force. And he never even scored the whole night. He did make a couple of disruptive plays, but otherwise, Jonathan Miller was the dominant force inside. And, of course, Jeremy Miller played another great game tonight. And then balance, too. Stafford Shanklin stepped up real big. Jonathan Stewart made some fantastic plays. I couldn't help but laugh, David, when he missed that dunk and he tried to grab it and throw it back down in there. He ended up getting a technical foul. And that's he's embarrassed about that. I'm sure he'll hear about that from his fellow teammates, his school members, and probably his parents. That's pretty funny.
We're going to be playing the Maryville Rebels, Mike. No shock there. They have knocked off Central tonight, 50-40. Bearden knocks off Carnes, 71-34. Clinton and Farragut in a tough one. It's a 1-point game. Farragut on top of Clinton with 1:04 to play. As I see Coach Green is heading up the steps here. He'll be coming to talk to me in a bit. He's talking with Mike Blackerby right Rebels. We've played them so many times, including last year in the region finals when they beat us over there. We've played them. This will be the 18th time since 1968 that we've played Maryville in the postseason, and it's a slim lead for the Wildcats, 9-8. No shocker. I thought, Central played them a good game, obviously, but not surprised we're seeing Maryville to decide who's going to play in a sub-state.
No, that Maryville team has been good all year long, David. And they weren't going to be denied tonight by Knox Central, and so it's going to be a great matchup Tuesday night here at the Wildcat Arena. Is that correct, David?
Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, and the Lady Wildcats will play on Monday night, 7 o'clock. So, so Monday, Tuesday. So as Clinton has just taken a 51-50 lead over Farragut with 13 seconds to play. So it'd be nice to see the two teams from District 3 advance to the semifinals. Last night, everybody but us got beat in our district. And hopefully we'll have the Dragons along with us. I don't say that very often, but I'd love to see Clinton advance and get a chance to play the Bearden Bulldogs as we wait to speak to Coach Green. He'll be up in a moment. Lady Wildcats have a tough assignment too. Mike coming up on Monday against a good Maryville team.
Yeah, they definitely do, David. It's going to be a highly contested game, no doubt about it. And the Lady Wildcats, I hope they're rested up, ready to go, and I hope they play a great game because that's what they're going to need to beat the Lady Maryville Rebels coming in here Monday night. And I want to say again, tonight it was a pretty good crowd. And the student section really boosts up the Wildcats, saying it just lifts up their spirit. So I really hope they come in here and pack it out Monday night and Tuesday night.
Mike, thanks a lot for joining us here. I'm going to get Coach Green.
Thank you, David.
That's Mike Sheehan. The myth, the legend, as Keith Hyatt said, brother-in-law of Ronnie Hayes. 78-61 is the final score, and joining me is the head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Aaron Green. Coach, playing Maryville on Tuesday, as I'm sure you know, but more importantly, you had to play tonight in your first-round ball game, and we've talked about this several times, whether on the radio or the television. Last year, we really thought that you guys played really tight up until the Science Hill ball game, but you've come out much looser in the postseason here. Tonight, a little bit too loose with the ball in the first half. Really, I think, honestly, kept West in the ball game. You'd build up leads, Coach, and then you turn the ball over a couple times. They knocked down a few threes and just keep it close. But in the second half, I thought you played much better basketball. Your shot selections were good. You didn't turn the ball over as much. You rebounded effectively, and you played much better defense. And I know that's what you like to hang your hat on, the defense. And you held them to 61. Little high for a ball game, I guess, about what you want to, but the first half didn't play great, but it's a big win, and you move on to play Maryville.
Yeah, David, it's I was concerned. I'm concerned at every game we play, honestly, Dave. But West got a good team, as you guys saw. They've got some guy. 20 Bivin can play. Their point guard's good. They've got some size. Their record, doesn't indicate, what type of team they have. And they went to Maryland and won last week. And I thought in the first half we had some breakdowns that gave them some threes that kept them in it. Of course, like you said, we had some lackadaisical turnovers that led to some buckets. Cleaned that up a little bit more. We had a couple, I think 2 possessions in a row where we turned it over and it led to a layup, but there in the third quarter. But after that, it's hard to defend those. I mean, you really can't defend those. After that, I thought we did a lot better job. And, I thought Milway made his presence known tonight.
Jeremy had a great game too.
Yeah, now I was going to talk about Jeremy. I thought Jeremy on both ends of on the floor played really hard and got to the basket. I mean, he was. I'd like to count the number of times that he was on the ground tonight. But just really, really proud of him. And we've talked a lot about it, David. I mean, we could have different guys step up each night. I think we got 6 or 7 guys that could lead us in scoring each and every night, depending on how teams are playing us. And, a very unselfish, at the end of the 5th quarter, very unselfish guys. And, I thought the second half, the difference definitely was the defense.
Clinton wins their ball game tonight, 52-50. The Central Maryville ball game was a close one. I mean, I think Central led a good portion of the ball game. Maryville won it at the end. We're going to talk about Maryville here in a moment. I just wanted to get that Clinton score. A lot of good things, I thought, especially on a night where, you look at your MVP of the district tournament, Kel Slater. He didn't score, I don't believe, until the 4th quarter of this game. And, he does so many other things well for you. And you don't necessarily have to have his scoring, but that's what we've been accustomed to. But I didn't think Kel had his best night, but he came away at the end making big plays when we needed him to. And he did a good job, for the most part, moving the ball up and down the floor against them.
Yeah, and I've said this really my entire career. Even my dad, really ingrained this in me growing up. It's not all about scoring. And I think, for me, it's you've got to be able to play both ends of the floor. Kel only had 8 points, but he had 5 assists. Sitting here looking at the stat sheet, had a couple too many turnovers for Kel. But again, I think our guys take what the defense gives them. Kel didn't get as many opportunities driving it. We got it inside a little bit more tonight than we did the other night because of the way they were guarding us. And, sometimes that occurs. But I think, I look at a lot of other stuff, how many rebounds guys had, deflections, missed assignments, all those things defensively. But again, I think, we got, several guys that can, obviously play well on any given night.
And the final score of the ball game, the Wildcats win the ball game quite easily. I mean, it was a fairly easy game in the second half, but as you look at the score, it wasn't an easy game really the way the game was played.
Yeah, no doubt. We stretched it out there. It seems like every time we got a lead, especially in the first half, they'd make a 3, or we'd have a missed assignment and they'd get an and one. It was just, it seemed like we never could get any separation. I thought the second half, I guess the score was 58-52 into 3. And then I thought the 4th quarter, we kind of locked down and got some stops and led to some transition opportunities and, and put it away. And again, so I don't know if fatigue was a factor. I felt like they got a little bit tired there late and we got some run out opportunities in transition. So, but yeah, I knew coming in the game, David, that this was not going to be an easy game. They're talented. They've got, a bit. I haven't looked at their stats yet, but 21 can play. Number 4 can play. Let's see here. I'm looking at 21 had 18. I guess the point guard had 10, and then 33 had 15. Number 20 hurt us in the first half. Cavis, I guess his name. He had a 2-3. So they got a good team, and I knew coming in. And again, as you know, Dave, when you get to this point in the season, the region tournament, you're not going to play a team that's not good. So just proud of our guys for responding. I thought we were locked in a lot better in the second half.
Coach, let's talk about the defending region champion Maryville Rebels. I know they lost, some really fine players to graduation a year ago, and their record is not as great as typical, but they're well coached. They still have some very good players, as we've said, and they're going to be a handful, as they always are in the postseason.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach Eldridge is a good friend of mine. He's a great coach, a great person. And he's obviously done a great job with his team. And, they lost Joe Anderson, who was Yeah, I don't think he was a Mr. Basketball finalist. If he wasn't, he probably should have been off their team last year and lost a couple other guys as well. But again, those teams, and I haven't got a chance to watch a lot of tape yet, obviously trying to worry about West, but had a system that has. But typically they shoot the ball very well. They're going to be patient. They're going to run good stuff. They're going to be well coached. They're going to be disciplined. I go back to a couple years ago, David, you may remember this. I don't remember what year it was, but we played them here in a region semifinal game. And we won like 47-44 when T and them, I can't remember what T and Tajon and all those guys, what grade they were in. But they had a kid named Upchurch that had like 30 of their 47 or whatever it was. And we had to, pull out a barn burner, and we were probably, favored to win that game going in. So you can throw all the records and who's favored and all that stuff out the window. Teams are going to prepare. They're going to play hard and play well. So, we've got to put ourselves in a position the next 2 days in preparation to, figure out what we got to do to give ourselves the best chance to go 1-0.
Coach, just your final comments on the win tonight over West.
Yeah, good win. Opportunity to go to the region semifinals is not easy. I mean, it's these region games are tough, and it's an elimination game, so there's a lot of pressure on it. I thought our kids were I feel like they was a little nervous early in the game. But I thought overall after that, they kind of settled down and played well. But I've always said this, David, in my career in coaching, that these region semifinal games, the girls will have one on Monday. We'll have one on Tuesday. These are the toughest games of the year. A couple reasons. Number one, it's an elimination game. Number two, winner goes on to the region final, and you're guaranteed a shot at a state tournament with a sectional game, whether it be home or away, depending on how you do in the region final. So there's a lot on the line. And we know that, they know that. And again, I tell our kids, this is why you play the game. This is, all the work you put in, all the time you put in, really boils down to these opportunities. And, you got to have fun, and you got to embrace it and play loose and enjoy it. So, I just hate the fact.
Upper East Tennis.
Go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead. I was just going to tell you about Science Hill and Dobbins Bennett were way behind in their ball games and have come back to take the leads, which those were tough matchups for them. Go ahead and finish what your thought was.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot where I was going with that, but basically, as far as these semifinal games, they're tough, like I said, and you got to be ready to go. Teams are going to make plays, and preparation is, and the next 2 days, there's not a lot of stuff. You're not going to obviously do a ton of running and, going live. A lot of it's mental preparation, coverages, correcting some of our breakdowns and, seeing, what we have to do to put ourselves in position to win the game, and knowing they're going to scheme a little bit and, how they're going to, try to, look at games last year, see how they played us, and just try to put a game plan together to give yourself a chance to play well and win. But I think what I was saying is just an opportunity to have fun and enjoy these. So the only disappointing thing about this is usually you get 2 region semifinal games at the same place, and you've got a packed house. I know we'll have a good crowd here regardless, but those region semifinal games where you have back-to-back games are, have good crowds and, a lot of energy in the building. So we'll look forward to it.
Coach, thanks a lot. 78-61 the final score, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Yeah, and us and the girls have the Maryville Rebels, so that's I don't know if that's happened. And you'd probably know. I know we've done that before, I think, but
it's happened before, yes.
Yeah, so for sure. So, but good luck to the girls on Monday, and then our guys coming, up obviously on Maryville on Tuesday.
What a beautiful 1,000-point ball you're going to give Jeremy Miller.
Yeah. Did you see that? Of course, my mom's ordered it and kind of did all of it for us, and she's wanting me to give it to him right now in front of the team. I'm kind of like, no, we'll keep the individual stuff till probably a little bit later. Worrying about team right now. But yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it. She brought it up here. Just a really nice ball. And by the way, how close is Millway, David? Did he get it?
Yes, he can.
Well,
do
no,
it.
You don't have to tell me because I don't want to put pressure on him. But I know he was close. So
yeah, he didn't get it tonight, but he can possibly do it on Tuesday.
Gotcha. Sounds good, Dave.
Okay, we'll talk to you Tuesday.
Thanks, David.
78-61, the final score. That was Coach Aaron Green. The Wildcats victorious over the West High Rebels. Let's get Mark back in here to run down the final statistics of the ball game. Wildcats win it 78-61. Mark?
Thank you very much, David. Leading scorer for the Wildcats was Jonathan Milloway. He had 22 points tonight. 9 of 10 from the field, 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Jeremy Miller finished with 18. He was 6 of 11, or 6 of 12 rather, from the field, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Stafford Shanklin also in double figures with 11. He was 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. 9 points added by Kel Slater, 4 of 12 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 9 points also by Jonathan Stewart. So almost all their starters were very close to double figures. 3 of them were in double figures. 2 of them had 9 points each. As I said, Kel Slater, 9 points, 4 of 12 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Jonathan Stewart with 9 points. He was 3 of 11 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Also contributing for the Wildcats, Jamison Updegraff had 5 points in the ball game. He was perfect from the field, 1 of 1 for twos and 1 of 1 for threes. Caden Updegraff, he had 2 points. 1 of 1 from the field, and Lucas Hershey has 2 points as well. He was 1 of 2 from the field. As a team, the Wildcats were 30 of 59 from the field. They were 27 of 46 from two-point land. They were 3 of 13 from three-point land, and they were 15 of 25 from the charity stripe. As you can see on the stream, if you're still with us there, Coach Green just presented the basketball to Jeremy Miller, David.
Yeah, and a beautiful ball too. And now he's having his picture made with the 3-game head coach of the Wildcats, Coach Danny Green. But more importantly, Mark, the Wildcats. Go ahead and run down the West scoring.
Leading scorer for West was number 21, William Bevan. I was really impressed. He's a great athlete. I mean, he really, really did impress me tonight. He had 18 points, as I said, 7 of 14 from the field, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Houston Dyer had 15 points for the Rebels. He was 6 of 8 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. Also in double figures for the Rebels, Gabriel Pastrana. He had 10 points, 4 of 13 from the field, 1 of 1 from the free throw line. 8 points added by Iram Cuevas. He was 3 of 13 from the field. Baker Dance added 7 points. He fouled out with 2:37 remaining in the ball game. He finished, as I said, with 7 points. He was 3 of 4 from the field. 3 points added by Taylor Preston. He was 1 of 5 from beyond the three-point line. So as a team, the the West High Rebels were 24 of 57 from the field. They were 16 of 31 from two-point land. They were 8 of 26 from three-point land, and they were 5 of 7 from the charity stripe. The Wildcats, the boys, they led at the end of the first quarter, 20-14. Then they were outscored in the second quarter, 22-20, but still held a 4-point lead at the half. It was 40-36. Wildcats outscored the Rebels 18-16 in the third quarter to take a 58-52 lead into the fourth quarter, where the Wildcats really opened it up against the West High Rebels, outscoring them 20-9 in the fourth quarter for a victory tonight, 78-61. David?
Mark, so that sets up 2 semifinal round ball games. The Lady Wildcats will take on the Maryville Rebels, 7 o'clock on Monday, and that'll be brought to you by Jerry and Lisa Williams, Trinity Home Care and Consulting, LLC, and Bob and Ann McNeese. And then on Tuesday, we're still looking for sponsors for that ball game. The Wildcats will take on the Rebels. Winners on Monday and Tuesday play in the championship game either on Wednesday or Thursday. More importantly, the girls, if they win, they'll play in a sub-state sectional ball game on Saturday. If the boys win, they'll play in a sub-state sectional game on Monday. So a lot in front of us. Big nights of basketball coming up at the Wildcat Arena Monday and Tuesday, Mark.
It is. I mean, it'd be exciting, as Coach Green said, Monday we'll play the Maryville Rebels, and on Tuesday we'll play the Maryville Rebels. So Pelican Parkway will have quite a bit of traffic to and from.
And that does it here from the Wildcat Arena. We appreciate Ron and Laverne Myers once again for sponsoring our broadcast on our YouTube stream, on our Prep Radio channel. We're also on prepradio.com. That includes smartphones if you ever want to listen to us. And we're also on Channel 15 tonight. The final score of the ball game, Oak Ridge beats West 78-61. We appreciate our camera personnel tonight and technical advisors. We had Shauna and Shauna Haste, along with Jordan Osborne, Christian Rosas Rodriguez. Mike Sheehan was up here. My name is David Clary, along with Mark Haste. Final score of the ball game: Oak Ridge beats West 78-61. Until Monday at around 6:45 when we come on with our pregame show, this is David Clary saying